everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at another lever action. Got a Marlin 1894, chambered in .45 Colt, one of my favorite rounds. Got one of those big old bad boys there. This is a HSM 325 grain. They call it the bear load. Only unfortunate thing about this particular round is it basically becomes a single shot here. You can load it fine, but once it goes to try and chamber, it tends to catch up. There's a little bit too much bullet sticking out there, but anyway, it was kind of fun just doing single shot, you know, just a little bit bigger load. Sometimes we like to push tolerances, but this old girl will handle it. It's a pretty darn nice rifle. So yeah, I mean, let's just look through it, I guess, real quick. Obviously, you know, these things came around in 1894. I believe the patent was filed in 1893, but original rifles were chambered in a couple cartridges: 44-40, 35-20, 25-20, a couple of other interesting cartridges, I guess. But modern day, pretty much what you're going to see is .45 Colt and .44 Magnum. Both of which are fantastic cartridges, but yeah, the old cartridges aren't quite there anymore. And the old rifle, when it was introduced, featured a 24-inch barrel. Nowadays, we're seeing a 20-inch barrel with, I think it's like a 1 38th inch twist, maybe. I think that's what it was, 1 38. American walnut stock and fore-end, which are pretty nice. You know, got a little bit of checkering design there. You know, the lever action on this is relatively smooth. It was a bit smoother than my 1895 and .45-70. But the loop is not quite big. You know, for like a gloved hand or something like that, I don't know, it might not be very comfortable, but you know, it runs. It does run pretty good. Out of the box, it's a little stiff. You get it working a few times and it smooths up pretty good, but you know, maybe not the action of like an old, I don't know, say Model 94 Winchester, you know, pre-60s type deal. But you know, I mean, it still runs pretty good for a new rifle. The trigger is really not too bad. It's not heavy, but it's very deliberate. You really have to want to pull it. So I wouldn't call it light at all. It doesn't stack. It's not gritty. It's just you hit that wall. The wall's like right there, and you just really got to want to pull the trigger. But it's not a bad trigger for a stock trigger, I wouldn't say. It does employ this crossbar safety here that I know a lot of people don't like. But, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't really stop anything. I mean, you can still pull the trigger. It just stops your hammer from contacting the firing pin. So a lot of people I've seen disable that. But, you know, it is what it is. It is a safety. Most people say, you know, the best safety you have is that gray wiggly thing called a brain in between your ears. So I would tend to agree with that a little bit, although I don't really use that all that much. Bluing on this rifle is pretty nice. The receiver has kind of a matte sort of finish on the top here, and then sort of like a, I don't know, a little bit smoother coating on the receiver, but it's not quite blued. It's kind of like a brushed sort of deal. Barrel is obviously nicely blued, get all fingerprinted up and so forth. 10 shot capacity, I don't think I mentioned that, through the tubular magazine, which of course you have your load gate, as opposed to if you were looking at a Henry, you'd have to load from the top, which I'm not a big fan of. I like to have the loading gate. Loading gates aren't always fun. They can snag a little bit of fingernail, a little bit of finger from time to time, but that's kind of part of the joy of owning lever actions. Sight picture does have a, you know, kind of modest sights. You know, here's your rear. It is semi-adjustable. The front sight is just a post, you know, just a regular post, shrouded post. It's not a bad sight picture, but it's not great. You know, it's not what I would call great. You know, I refuse to put scopes on lever action, so you know, I am going to use whatever sights are on there. Although an upgrade in sight wouldn't be out of the ordinary or out of the question for me or anyone else who owns this. Recoil-wise, this thing recoils very, very little. It's actually very pleasant to shoot, and out of the box, reasonably on target without fooling with it. I was able to cycle through targets pretty good, although, you know, you get shooting kind of fast with these, sometimes you lose a little bit of accuracy, but it's actually a pretty fun gun to shoot. You know, for me, I always thought it was a pretty fun gun to shoot. You know, you just get going and you're going through and cycling through targets and just shooting and having a good time, and that's kind of what I feel on this rifle. You can hunt with it, I guess. I probably wouldn't. I mean, in the state of Ohio, we only have the ability to use straight wall cartridges here. Can't use like a 270 or similar necked cartridges. So this could be a viable hunting option for some people, but pistol cartridges I don't tend to like to use for hunting. I prefer to use something a little bit stouter, although you can take them down with proper shot placement. Wouldn't put that on there. So anyway, folks, I mean, it's a pretty nice little rifle. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. 1894 Marlin. So just wanted to give you a quick look at that. I've had it for a little while, been out shooting it a little bit, so just wanted to bring it to you. But anyway, guys, just thank you for stopping by. Thanks to all the subscribers. I appreciate all of you hitting that button. And to those of you who might be new, if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the old like button. Leave your comments. I like answering comments. And, of course, hit that subscription button. We're working on getting that subscriber number way up, right? So, anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and y'all have a good rest of your day. See ya.